Okay, so we'll get started. We're gonna go line by line, and we'll also make note of who we want to bring in to talk with us. So the first off are with town board. And originally I was gonna go with 2%, but I went with 3% increase for all employees across the board. That includes officials, stipend, 3%.
So that's 3%, Jerry, it's not 2%, and because yesterday I wrote down in the margin here, 2% increase. Whether that's 2 or 3%.
It should be 3. Did you do the formula? You got your formula? It's 3?
It's 3%, supervisors.
What?
Is that 3 or 2?
I thought you did too.
That should be 3. Did 3, I should have been 3 across the board.
Last year, do I remember correctly, this year Shelby took on more of the deputy,
Last year, Amber felt that Shelby had been taking on more and more duties. So she felt that I had budgeted 10,000 for the deputy supervisor.
right?
And Amber felt that that money should be allocated to Shelby. A portion of it should be out
Oh, yeah.
to, because Shelby is taking on more responsibilities.
Burden off of, and also rightfully moved to a full-time position person instead of somebody on the board. And I remember Paul Shepherd at one point saying, so you automatically have to get elected because you know.
You know where the
how to do
keys to
numbers. And it's like,
keys
no,
to the
that's,
kingdom.
you were right, Paul, that should not be the case.
And Amber's working with Shelby over the years, to,
Yeah,
get
I
her.
mean, I see it, I mean, it changes, and it's unique because of Amber's role in the last several years as being the deputy and helping with the budget. But doesn't the deputy also spend a considerable amount more time here doing other things other than the other 3 council people do?
Yeah,
I think that's something that should be consideration. I fought personally to get that salary up because I thought the deputy's salary was grossly underpaid for what the person was doing, even outside. And that was maybe during COVID influence, my thinking on that, but there's a bunch of other things. But any type of emergency, the supervisor needs a deputy up here. It's, that's, and running the meetings, which another thing that you step in on. So I don't know, I'm for increasing Shelby's thing, but I don't know if it had the cost of the deputy position. So that's just my thinking.
I think we have to be careful with that one because the deputy supervisor doesn't have to be a town board member.
Correct.
It could be somebody from the outside.
Okay.
So there's talk of a town planner, there's talk of this and that. So in essence, they could, that could be a position that could change. So I don't know that I'd want to change that right now,
Didn't know
right at
that.
this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something new every day.
So, Association of Towns budget was modified to bring it up, and then we didn't quite spend it all, but the new allocation is lower than original, or lower than what we spent this year by 1,000. I just think that there's change coming, so that's almost mandatory attendance by at least 3 people. Maybe,
I would agree.
yeah,
I think,
to leave it the way it was from last year.
well,
I
unless,
was gonna say, I can explain one reason why the modified budget, it's
Yeah.
because I think, so Judy processes the people that go, and she didn't realize that each department had its own association of towns line, so she put everyone into that town board line, so
Yeah.
we just ended up having to do some money moves, so that's why the increase is in there in the
Okay,
modified
so, but the
budget.
real number paid is correct for the town board's
Yeah.
responsible portion that they're, okay.
Yeah.
So at least,
The people we set that,
Yeah.
you'll see it in each.
right.
Yeah.
So 5750 then to go back to, or no?
Well, let's just talk about for a second, how many people went last year? And how many people do we anticipate going?
Good point. I didn't go.
Well, that's gonna be true.
Jim didn't
because
go.
I haven't gone to 3
I went.
members.
Yeah.
Right.
You 3 of
They have
them.
at least 2.
I haven't gone to 3 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the 3 of us.
You might
went,
have 3.
Yeah.
But then also, Shelby, you didn't go last year, but you did go the year before,
Yeah,
Did you
2
find it
years
helpful?
before.
or 2 years.
Oh my God.
I did.
Because
And-
the main.
and-
Yeah, I was on
Let me
maternity
throw,
budget line, I think.
throw Coco in. if she has a new HR role, but you're a separate budget. I think, yeah.
I think the association of towns.
Administrative assistant. I'm not sure if there's enough classes, just thinking through what's on the schedule
Yeah.
for Coco in the specific role.
Yeah,
There's probably training elsewhere that would be beneficial,
right.
but I'm not sure. Not sure about association towns for her.
So, to me, we've just said that it's at least what it was last year.
Yeah,
Right? But maybe more because Shelby will go read.
I think this year, because Christina came, so
Right.
yeah, 3 of us and Christina
Right.
Yeah,
from this.
in,
Yeah.
yeah. So if that's the case, because used to be like 1,000 to 1,200 is what we would figure
Per
per
person?
person. But if, that's why I wanted to get the count, because if we're, at what was it? 5705 for
Mhm.
4 people,
Mhm.
it's gone up to 1426.
Are we forgetting anybody?
Oh, no, it feels like we are, but
While we're on this first.
There might, I see like Liz Hanley went this year.
That was
Yeah, that was out of
community housing.
That might have been posted in here though.
Oh,
So that might be one less person to consider.
Yeah.
but if you do go up to 1470 per person, is that what you just said?
Yeah, except if Liz Hanley was in here, then we got it.
No, but if we plan on 4 people, it's 5,900. You know what I mean?
Well, my thing is, and I don't have a problem with that, if you want to keep it around the same, the printing and advertising for the first 2/3 of the year, 8 months, this goes through August 31st, has been $3,480. You budgeted $9,000, we still have 5,500, plus in there. Why can't we lower that to 7,000, pick up $2,000 and then utilize that for Association of Towns or professional services, however you want to utilize it.
I think that's a good idea. And school travel mileage, do we think again, because we've got so much new, that might go up?
To be honest with you, that mileage thing, I never put in for mileage. I go to all kinds of meetings off Waymo Island. I don't even put in for that.
I have a hybrid. Oh, no, I'm a jerk.
So do we need more money for Association of Towns? That what we're
I
saying?
think,
Let's leave that one open and check with Judy to give us the per person.
okay, just from what I'm looking at, is you're gonna have a new town board.
Yeah.
Amber, you should go, period, because you're the supervisor. The supervisor should go. That's all right. Meg, I think you should go.
Yep.
Because I think it's important to go. If you have 3 new board members, I think they should go.
Yes.
So then that's.
Yeah.
That's 5.
That's why I said,
I
Jerry.
think Christina should go, it's important for her role,
Yeah.
and I think Shelby should go, so I think we should budget for 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take that 9,000 to 7,000, put the 2,000 in the Association of Towns.
From the printing and advertising.
Yes.
Let's
gonna
get
be more than
let's get the number
So
from
let's get-
Judy and, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll make a note of that,
Going back up to Christina's line, administrative assistant,
yes.
what percent, like, I'm not getting, like, it's not 3%, it's just a weird number.
That's not 3%,
No.
should be.
Because I've just been checking all the numbers and it's like 2.82%. So that just needs correction.
So yeah, it needs correcting to 3%.
So it'd be 23,638.50.
Do I have this electronically?
23,680.
From you?
638.50.
23,638.50.
That's
I'd rather make it here, I'm making them right here, and I realize this will change.
Okay, so we're highlighting the
Association.
printing and advertising, to move that money
Correct,
in Association of Towns,
correct,
okay.
exactly.
So what are we
So
taking
the
that
bottom
down to?
line doesn't have to change.
We're not taking it, we're possibly moving them, taking from one to the other,
Yeah,
For 2023 or 2024?
24.
Okay,
In
good.
other words, we budgeted 9,000, we budgeted what we had the same for printing and advertising. But Jim feels that we really haven't spent, we're not projecting to spend that kind of money. So maybe we should
Spend 30% of what.
allocate it to
31% of what.
Association of Towns, because it's, such a different year for the Association of Towns,
Right,
the new board.
but my question is, what do you want to take printing down to?
That's what I'm saying, let's wait and see what, you come up with. the
Amber,
Association of Towns first.
here's my
Oh, I
here's my
see.
response
Let's
to
just
that.
look at it,
Okay.
yeah.
Here's my response to that. So that it covers the increased cost of sending those 7 people to the Association of Towns and covering the slight increase in Christine's, in that slight
Yeah,
error there. So I would like, by the way, we're starting at a high number. I'm not looking to add to the high numbers.
Right.
Anytime when we're looking to increase this budget someplace, we need to find money to offset that because we need to go in another direction. We can't just keep adding to the problem, you know? That's,
Well put.
Well, library, okay, so I would like to go and look at school travel mileage. Again, hard to predict what's going to happen. Is there much education outside of
Internet?
Association of Towns that you would think new board members would be attending?
well, that stuff up in Albany and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, as Jim said,
So much
he did a lot of
online.
traveling for PEP and different things, and we don't really put in for it, but
I know,
supposedly you could,
I know,
you
Yeah.
could, and maybe we should.
yeah.
So it's not a whole, it's only $550.
I know, I was thinking about adding to it. No, that's,
That's already over.
yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're over from last year, but also new people might take advantage of, not take advantage, that's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Need to
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
have some education, or even to make the connections that, the networking things that, but, like Jim is ringing in my ears, don't be adding.
So you're talking about, Christina's thing is $40
Yeah.
difference. I mean, and whatever needs to be covered to increase both of those things, that's a good point. Because I do think that we've already exceeded it. We adjust that one, we also adjust the Association of Towns, and we take it over printing and advertising, we keep the bottom line the way it is.
Okay, what about also office miscellaneous? We haven't spent much there. Might be a few thousand there.
What typically comes out of that, our toner, printer?
Yeah,
Typically,
Some will
what
be
comes
gone.
out of
Much less
office and
common.
miscellaneous, what comes out of that?
so let's, I'm just gonna make a note,
I'm just gonna highlight these.
think about
Yeah.
12,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Just stuck in new, it's great.
It's a good point.
Okay,
So BJ, what I'll do is I'll look at, historically the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have what's left over, what we transferred at the end of the year,
right,
that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
So the good news is by just looking at those 2 areas alone, we can offset and might even be able to reduce
Right.
the bottom line by increasing the other 2 things as well. That's the
Okay.
goal. Job on page 2.
Okay.
Leslie, professional services.
I was just gonna,
that's the big elephant.
The big number. Not for today, but Shelby, can you get a printout? Breakdown of what all
Yeah,
that
what's in there?
is? Because I've done it before and it's like, I know the audit's in there, but I think Collins Master's in there. So just so we can get the
Yeah,
breakdown and
we-
do
yeah.
proper
By-
projection.
By the way, if you look at the 8,
Zuckerman in there?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, everybody's in there. If you look at the 8 months, we are exactly on target to spend that $200,000 because you got 65,000. You multiply 65,000 times 2, it's the 130,000. So we're actually going to exceed that by a hair, that 200,000. We're not gonna, there's no money in there to mess
Yeah,
with.
but the thing with the professional services, we can say, well, it was kind of odd, we had to have an outside counsel to cover myself and cover Stephen Kiley, and then cover the town because Stephen and I were sued personally. It was a rare thing, but we're seeing this more and more now.
Yeah.
That, we're
It's
getting, litigation is coming and there is a definite need for outside counsel. more than has been in the past.
There is.
So, let's look at it, let's
yeah, no,
define it all
yes.
100%, but let's, you know,
But no, but as Jim says though, it's like, right now we're tracking towards 202,000.
Yeah.
Correct.
We did this analysis last year and
Yeah.
broke down and said, okay, we know we've got like this litigation going on, we know we've got this going on. So we did a pretty good job, so I think it's worth looking
Yes.
at
Yeah.
the details. Especially because there's like, I think the LoSAP audit,
yeah.
the pension calculation, there's like a bunch of different services.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're gonna utilize that, the vast majority of that money, if not exceed it,
yeah.
every year.
Okay. Okay, Justice Court. Again, it looks like there's a big increase for the clerk, but that was based on her actual hiring salary. So if you look at the total, it's not a big increase, it's a decrease actually in the department.
Right.
So,
Yeah, a couple of $1,000. Yeah.
okay,
But with, year over year with Nancy Catula's longevity,
right,
it really, the department's still tracking pretty close to historical.
mhm,
Didn't blow it out of the water there.
Right, yes. And it's not much you can play with there.
Was there a question on part-time clerk though, and rate? Thought I heard something, is it something?
well, the justices proposed a 4% increase across the board. And we went with I proposed 2%.
And you leave the association towns as is, just because you never know.
And they're mandated to,
Yeah, oh, right.
Yeah.
okay. Next is the supervisor. This is a big increase because, first of all, we did again, 2% increase way down. And we took out the committee clerks. We had lines here last year, but we took them out. But I did add administrative assistant / HR. And we'll have to find out what the actual title is for civil service for that. Yeah, for Coco.
Yes.
That title
Yeah.
for that position. And I just came up with that 46,000 or 44,602 as a portion of a total salary. And when we get to the end, I'll go over all that.
Accounts for a vast majority of the increase.
Yes.
Barbara and Judy's longevity is wrong, just
Okay.
FYI.
No,
It's actually higher,
Surprise.
your proposal. So based on your proposed number for Barbara, her longevity should be 9,695 and 43 cents. 9,695.43, because she's 15%.
yeah.
Okay.
And the same with Judy is 15%. So based on your proposal, her longevity is 7,490.84.
Am I looking at the wrong lines? Because those numbers look lower than what's in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I know it's my projection.
Okay, I see, okay.
3%.
so Barbara's was considerably higher and Judy's was down.
No, they're both.
No, they're both down.
No, you're doing,
Oh,
don't go to Shelby's, make sure you're going to
Okay,
Barbara.
okay.
No increase in ADP, huh?
No.
Nice gift. You kind of expect stuff like that to go up
Usually, yeah.
every year, you know?
For ADP, like the upgrade, it's just taken longer for the implementation to come online, so we've been a little over budget in the past, and it was gonna happen faster, so I think we'll finally like, there,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so the total increase is 17% in this category. Again, that's with the new position. And it's 17% on this line, but, and it's really 6.5 the other. It's a new position in name, but Coco's been here, has been a
Right.
full-time employee, so we're kind of moving the salary around.
Category, yeah.
Next is town board audit, keeping that the same.
Office and miscellaneous, we're a little bit over, just to say, just a touch over.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
But but we had some
I think
furniture.
that's pretty much done, yeah.
Yeah, that we had to get.
Desks and a lot of,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure everything's,
I don't, well, there's no room, frankly.
unless there's supervisor,
Unless-
just change.
They want chairs here.
The question is at the bottom of page 4, when we get to the independent audit,
Yeah,
of 73.1. Through the first 8 months, we're at 0, and we have the balance of 73.1. So I'm assuming that this audit takes place at the end of the year?
I think we paid it.
yeah, we get billed.
Oh, we get billed at the end of the year?
Yeah, but I was gonna say, if you want to look at I put in a proposed number because I reached out to them, so that proposal is what they told me,
Which is,
72.7.
Okay, and that's the
oh,
proposal
that's
For the
department.
townwide audit and the justice court audit.
for the 2023 to be paid in 24, okay.
Yeah. 72.7, it's here, it's in the column.
So then let's.
Yeah, but, yeah, I don't want to put that one in.
Okay,
Yeah.
everything helps.
72 what?
72.7's in her proposed.
It's Shelby put it in.
Okay, next is tax receiver. And proposed was 4%, I put in for 2%.
You did 2% or 3%?
3%.
3%, yeah, that's what I had.
3%. Everything else stayed the same.
Okay, so, just on the postage,
Doesn't she have additional mailings now?
not her, but yeah, remember she didn't do a second mailer reminder?
Email.
And we had so many delinquents. But I see her proposal is what you, and I'm sure she figured that in there, so, right?
She's on track to spend that because she's
Yeah.
22 and you proposed 33, and that's exactly on track,
Right,
for the.
I mean, she went up with 200, a little bit,
yeah.
280
Yeah, but that's
for
not,
postage.
not a significant difference. By the way, postage is going up again.
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
saw that in the post, yeah.
this is based on what she asked for,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Not gonna give her more than she asked for.
No, but you want to reach out and make sure she's,
She's usually on top of it.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, assessors. Okay, the assessors asked for a 5% increase across the board. They asked for an intern to take pictures for them and to send out the mailers. And they asked for a part-time staff to help with the reval. I'm putting in for the reval update with 3 mandated mailers. New furniture they need, keeping that in there, and mandatory continuing education. So we have to hire, we're in the process of interviewing for an assistant assessor right now.
Mhm.
That's gonna stay on, and Judith is the sole appointed assessor.
Mhm.
I'm proposing we don't hire a part-time clerk.
I think they need time to. Yeah.
The clerk is proposed 3%. Vehicle maintenance, they're sharing the cars. We have 3 cars now. And I asked Brian, you don't really know what the vehicle maintenance is gonna be on these electric cars.
Not
The only
much.
thing they can go is get,
Tires.
we hope.
Well, in your opinion, with the hiring of this summer intern, is that counterbalance a little bit the need for the new part-time hire?
Well, they had both then.
Yeah.
I know they have both of them, but I'm just saying, I'm not, again, I'm putting this towards BJ a bit more, saying, what are your thoughts, BJ?
You know, I wish we had that full-time hire done, because that'll tell you how much you're gonna
Right.
need,
Okay.
you know. And
How close are we? I'm not following that process.
I'm not either.
We've been doing skills testing,
Oh, good.
so I don't know the results of that,
Right.
but it's, the process is
Yeah, good.
underway, so hopefully soon.
The counterweight there is, if you're gonna absorb a new full-time, it's gonna be awfully hard in that, a tiny office like that to absorb a part-time too, and with any efficiency in the same year. So it might be very well at the end of 2024, the decision is made, yes, we do need a part-timer in here. great, make it then, but I don't even think it'll be a clear picture until the end of 2024.
Just out of curiosity, Amber, how many people do we have interested in this position? Without naming names.
We interviewed, let me just see if this was 6. Yes, we interviewed 6 people. I think we're down to a couple of candidates with skills tests. We've done 2 skills tests. One was not going to do the skills test. Another, I think there was the Board of Ethics weighed in on conflict of interest with outside employment. So that candidate got knocked out.
Another one wanted to double the salary.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
out. So,
I think we have it down to 2.
Yeah,
We'll wait on the
close.
test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're close.
BG, the proposal was for, we had 1,700 last year for the reval update. Proposal was for 6930,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I went with. Would that help with the intern?
It might, I mean, it might, but I don't think that's what she's got in there. There's a whole bunch more mailings, a whole,
Isn't there like a series of extra mailings?
extra mailings, and I think she's also thinking, although it should be an overtime. Okay, I was just thinking the clerk might have to be there a bit more, because remember, there's just like a whole extended grievance period that we don't normally have, like that letter will go out, this is what it looks like you're gonna be, and then, I think there could be nights and weekends there, but maybe.
That's different.
Yeah, it is, and maybe Judith just thinks she'll handle it, not have the clerk there.
Just so we're winding down here at the end of these terms, when we do hire this new full-time person, we ask Steve how legal it is to have a non-tenured period, probationary period of whatever appropriate is, 3 months, 6 months, probation, just to make sure, and then make it into a permanent position, just to make sure.
We've done that in the last couple of resolutions,
Okay.
so that they're probationary
Okay.
for 6 months.
Yeah.
I think civil service has a condition for probationary.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm much more comfortable with that, just.
So BJ, do you want to look into the part-time staff and the intern, or what do you want to?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this got released to us yesterday, so has it been sent back out to the department heads so that they can see what changes you made, what you're proposing?
No.
So that, has Judith had an opportunity to see that her part-time position was correct?
And then
so
asked to come
She
in.
could come
Well,
in and
normally what we'll
advocate.
do is we'll look at it and then they'll look at it at the same time. And if they want to come in, or we want them to come in. So they can either ask to come in or we can ask them.
Not yet.
Okay, all right, so we need to send it out
Right.
to all the departments.
With that kind of cover note that says, if you feel the need, make an appointment with us.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we can ask people to come in if we have questions on stuff, but
Right.
also give them the opportunity to advocate for
Mhm.
what they, like why they had a position cut. Well, I think that they should come in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, assessment board of review.
Would you prefer, if people want to meet with you, for them to come sooner rather than later? You don't want me to open it up like to all the meetings that you do, like maybe the next 2 or something?
Get them in and get them out. Okay, assessment board of review. And it's 3% pretty much. Yeah. The clerk went up a little bit.
Yeah, because they're probably going to have a larger session this year. Their
Yeah, and she
grievance is going to be, they're going to.
handles a lot of paperwork.
Okay, town clerk's office, I briefly described yesterday. What I'm proposing is 3% across the board total. Robert, I'm proposing 14% to bring him up to, competitive with the rest of the department. I'm also proposing, in this category, we knock down the town clerk and the deputy clerk cash salaries, but compensate for it in the WMAC line to make it whole with the 3% increase, and take away the WMAC. from Christina and just make it in the town clerk's office. That's where it was originally. That was the intent. So between online moorings and Bo working with Amber on this, I think this is the way we should try to go with it now. I also think that, we've been working for a year with 3 deputies. We're gonna try to tighten our belts a little. This is one way we can do it for a while. We're also looking at putting in the new software. We estimated about $30,000. So if and when Amber's, finds the correct software, that'll be a big project too. But that software is not in this part of the
I was
budget.
just gonna say, I'm not seeing the software in the budget, so okay. I was like,
It's in the IT part.
okay.
So also, an important part to me to, if you're gonna reduce hours, software is, in my mind, when we're talking software, we're talking from this day forward. But we have a whole, how long does it take you to look for something? A while. I mean, we need to digitize it. I know that there are grants available, but would it not be prudent to put in something for
Digitization?
I would say, unless we have a grant, there's no point in even.
So,
Go ahead. Why don't you wait till we bring everybody in, we'll make it for you to come.
Oh, for
I was
everybody.
gonna say with the grant, I already looked into it.
Yeah.
I spoke with the New York Archives.
Yeah.
We had a Zoom meeting. There's a whole lot of steps that I didn't know about.
Right.
So we've already started those steps though.
Right.
They want you to prove yourself pretty much that you need this grant. So we started taking inventory.
Yeah.
And once we submit that to them, they realize that we need manpower. So they give us that grant and then they have someone come in, but
Okay.
we'll have to speak with the grant writer and everything.
Amber, you need help? Should Jen be helping you with this?
Yeah, I just want to get everything together first to present it to her, so I know what I'm.
What you're asking for.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very good. That's great.
I will.
The other thing is, I think I like the WMAC idea. However, that being said, I think that we should consider, again, here, before the first of the year, taking moorings and changing the code, very specifically that moorings now, the application comes to you and Bo does the assignment.
It does come.
Harbor master.
It does now.
No, I know, but there's WMAC in the middle. There's WMAC in the middle, and I think we could take them out of it. And again, I'm hoping that WMAC becomes as much a shoreline,
Right.
environmental, habitat restoration, get on all that. I mean, and I think moorings in many towns are handled by the clerk's office and the harbor master. Money, permit, and location. I mean, it's not, and again, the comp plan asks for us to delineate mooring fields and investigate whether or not gridding is a good idea. That would be a big job for
My concern with the
WMAC.
moorings ultimately,
Yeah.
with the comp plan is build out.
Yeah,
What
that's
is the ultimate?
and the comp plan says figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's WMAC, a big project. So again, can't we take the moorings, which it occupies half the meetings and the other half are docks. Well, the docks are important too. I mean, but they're working on that code now.
Yeah.
Again, should simplify things. I think that they're a talented group of people and I'm just looking to free them up to do higher level analysis. That being said, so it's just that whoever in the clerk's office does wind up being the processor of moorings needs to be able to do online moorings without error.
So as I was gonna say, it's a matter of your office being comfortable with the, I
Yes.
know Bo is, and like, working with Bo on the online, I wouldn't take it away from him until we do that.
Yes, yeah,
Realistic.
but it's really WMAC that you want to take out of the picture.
yes,
So
But just
that,
the moorings.
just the moorings,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, that makes sense because that's like a level of
yeah,
unnecessary back and forth paperwork and everything else.
exactly, especially once we get our, the post-comp plan work is done on the fields.
And moorings, either they fit or they don't. Both
So
fits
with
or
that said, that would only be WMAC clerk would just be handling docs,
Yes.
Right,
right?
right.
And bulkheads.
I'm just trying to follow along.
And meetings as well, right?
Docs, bulkheads, meetings, that would be the clerk to the.
Clerk to the committee, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So there is an efficiency there, but clerk to the meeting, you have to be able to do that.
Right, yeah, no, I'm just thinking, we're cutting out the one position, but we're adding more responsibilities.
Right.
So I'm just concerned that by cutting
Right.
But
a
isn't,
position in that
BJ, when
office.
you travel with your boat and you go
Yeah.
up through New England and everything, and you go into these temporary mooring fields where you spend Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, do they charge for most of those places? They do.
yeah,
The only thing I'm thinking out loud is, there's been a lot written about this lately.
yeah,
The people, the need for pump out and people that get, the water quality. If we did charge, maybe if we were doing enough of that,
Right.
we could afford a pump out, and which would strictly be
Yeah.
buying these areas, these temporary mooring areas where people come in to check on these things and to offer this service on a more regular basis.
absolutely. Thanks to John Needham, though, we're going to have data for a whole year
Yeah.
on bacteria levels in the two anchorages.
Right.
So through the Blue Water Initiative
Yes.
Task Force,
Yes.
whatever they call it, I always forget, the Peconic Baykeeper. And I think that will tell us, because I think that's why John has resisted, and the WMAC, he's not king, have resisted a pump out boat, because first of all, there are facilities, so we all know that we can all question that. But if there's no problem, what are we solving?
Right.
So let's, that's for the next.
That's a logical step.
You're right.
Yeah, it's a good logical step.
I mean, if the goal is to limit the number of people anchoring in the Anchorage area and you wanted to do it a town-owned mooring field that you then come and rent the mooring for the day, then that would be a completely different business model. And that would take up much more time.
Right, and it's not proposed in the comp plan, because the general feeling I got from the WMAC is they didn't want to go into competition with the privately owned marinas. So that was problem number one. Problem number two is, even when there's nobody at the anchor in the mooring fields, you still have the moorings. So you take a pristine like
Right,
anchorages get
right,
crowded, but
Right,
90% of the time, there's nobody there and it's beautiful.
right.
And
right,
rather than having rows of balls.
right.
So those were the two, and there's degradation with anchoring and there's degradation with mooring,
Right.
just different kinds.
Yeah.
There's no win there,
Yeah.
so.
It's logical.
Yeah.
It's good thing.
And you were saying? We were giving them more.
Just more responsibility and more.
But I will just say, I am not interested in being WMAC clerk because I got that going on.
Yeah.
You'll know I'm trying to bring it up to par.
Right,
I understand the offer, totally do, but I don't have time to do it, and especially if there's a deduction in a
right,
spot. It makes sense to have it in there, yes, but
yeah.
so
So was some of this money, when you say WMAC, you are saying the clerk money that Christina was earning is now going to be earned by somebody else?
Yes.
Okay.
We get that.
Right. But if we don't have the talent, we might have to think about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and also to ask if you're not interested, if the one person would be interested.
I'll ponder.
Yeah. It's extra money. Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
No.
Right, I see what you're
Even
saying.
now,
Yeah,
but I just don't, I don't say I don't have the time, but I just want to focus on the office.
yeah. I agree.
And I'm starting to make moves.
Down to
That's
there.
to happen.
Let's get back on, okay.
Yeah.
Attorney is asking for an 8% increase. And I'm proposing 3%. I've put an increase, a substantial increase in, I put legal aid, but really that should be an administrative assistant. The title should always be the same. Because her workload has increased there also. She also has been doing in the past, she has been doing the planning board and the ethics board and hasn't been paid for it. So I just want to try to divide her pay according to the work she does, which is that's what my proposal is. Office and miscellaneous is the same. Training is a 3% increase. So it's a 9% increase in that department.
He hasn't spent any of the money on training, conferences, travel.
And that's a 12% increase,
Which is,
the training, conferences and travel.
From the modified?
I did it from the adopted.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say from the
I
adopted.
did everything from the adopted.
Yeah, that's 12%.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if they propose 2,000, then why don't we just leave it at 2,000 instead of the 2?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I would leave it at 2,000. You spent $382 the first 8 months. Gotta start making up this money, even if it's nickel down. Are we okay with that?
Okay, engineering. Again, Joe put in for a 9% increase, put in for 3%. Office and miscellaneous, we kept the same. Where we differed was Joe put in for 12,000 in professional services. I had put in for 20,000. Last year, we adopted 15,000, but modified it to 74. But Joe felt, he's doing most of that himself now, so some of that was one-time things for projects we had in the works. So,
Well, I get the 74, but we're in it.
We're gonna get it back in grant.
Yeah.
When we get
Okay.
grant reimbursements,
Thank
like
you.
Fresh Pond.
Okay, got it, all right.
That's why it looks so crazy.
Yeah, that's,
Professional services for the board page, if you could do it for this one too.
Okay. It's mainly Fresh Pond right now, though, I
Yeah.
can tell you that.
there was some wastewater
He and I-
treatment
Yeah,
in
he
there.
and I went through this at one point, that's why we did.
There was
Yes,
some
there's a
for
few
wastewater.
wastewater, which we're still in gathering all the documents to submit, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
we should be getting that money back, and then that's kind of closed out.
Oh, I forgot, yeah, that too, right.
Because I have the analysis of when we modified the budget to 74,000 to cover some of that, I just kind of wanna.
See where this is. Sure.
okay, so I think Joe's gonna wanna come to us. And again, if you look at the totals, they're fairly close because of the professional services line that he feels he can do most of that work himself. I think that's why he looked for the increase in salary. Green options. The main increase was in the clerk's fee. Again, we're trying, we're hiring new people on salary, and I'm trying to divide the portions of each committee to justify the salary, so.
Right.
That's why some.
At some point, can we have a total for each
I
clerk?
have it.
Look on
Okay,
your-
thank
look
you. It's,
on your
And
bottom
Green
tab.
Options
Oh,
is
gotcha.
going to be working on the E-tip grant, so that's gonna probably take a little bit more time too.
yeah, and office and miscellaneous, not only green options, but, in conjunction with the whole ramping up, we hope, of education. But that is going to take some printing, that's going to take advertisements, and I see it as ongoing. I mean, you don't just do it once.
Right.
Once you get the materials together, you got to get them out there on a regular basis. So, yeah, even though they haven't spent their money this year, I think they will.
Okay. Next is Public Works. Again, I'll just remind you that
Green options for a second.
Yeah, is their grant.
Is the grant money.
5,000?
That's like been rolling, yeah.
Oh.
5,200 last year, 4,700 is the leftover grant money, which we've
Oh.
now just spent some for. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the
there should be a deduction for the.
Right, the buckets.
So,
Yeah, 4,450 is what remains of the grant.
okay. Why did I think it was gonna be more for Sylvester Manor?
So it was only 250.
It was only because
Oh, we cut
I'm
on that, okay. Because when we're doing the budget pool, okay, so 40, so you have checked that number, okay, gotcha. Okay, so then we take 4,450 plus 500 is the base. And then you're adding another 300 to the base,
Yeah,
which maybe.
I think the proposed,
Okay. Yes.
Mhm.
Why is Brian's name up on top of the commissioner?
We just have to change that. Just cross him out. Okay, so just, again, with Public Works as well, all the, bargaining units, the, salaries don't include the proposed. The reason that some of this public services is up, Shelby, is because of the,
Yeah, the non,
non-union members, Debbie,
That's under personal services?
yeah. Okay. Equipment is the same, boat equipment's the same. Let's see if there's any major differences here. North Ferry, 40 North Ferry Road, obviously that's coming out.
What do you mean? Where are you?
It's next door.
It's next
Not
door.
gonna make it.
Oh.
That was an offset anyway with the
Rent.
rental and. Generator maintenance is up.
We have more generators or because?
No, we were having some problems with the generators, so what we need to do, even though we get them serviced on a regular basis, the fuel is going down.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's sitting in
it sits there.
So it's just a new part of the process, is we have to drain the fuel, rotate which ones we drain.
How long can fuel stay in a generator, say for 6 months?
We've been keeping it in there for years. Depends if you put the additive in and if you use it.
Yeah, if you run it periodically, man.
Yeah, but we were doing that, but
Even
apparently,
then it settles out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we were doing it under a service contract, so we really thought we were doing everything properly. The charging station is an increase. It's really the only, not a whole lot of increases in.
Condon dock, is that for electrical and all that kind of stuff under?
I think that's regular maintenance on the dock. If something happens and they gotta go fix it, things like that. Just an update on that real quick is, Brian called the DEC and asked him what the heck is going on. And, the application was back on the bottom of the list because of changes from March. So he got him to address it. Joe and Brian and Al, Loretta were working on it this week to get it back to him, and hopefully they can fast track that again. But it's just ridiculous. It was, a minor change, and then went back to the bottom of the list. Okay, next is town board buildings. It's the same on that, and then any changes there. IT. 3%. These, and this is where I put in for the $30,000 for the town clerk software.
Just for a second on that.
Yep.
Just because I sat in on that
And also, go ahead.
department head meeting, and for some reason, I don't think I was seeing the 30,000, like.
Do you have it listed in?
Those
Maintenance
those
or-
maintenance fees are
yeah,
increasing
and maintenance.
significantly, right?
Yeah,
But now this is software, or this is something, it's gonna be an ongoing annual expense
it's software, but that's where Kevin said.
to put it in
Yeah,
the maintenance
yeah.
budget?
Mhm. I mean, I don't know if you put it there or in contract. I don't know where you put it.
Well, we had made that contract line this year for the website, so we could see it kind of separate, how much the cost would be. But then Kevin said we didn't need that, everything could just be in maintenance or equipment.
So Kevin had put in 99,980, and I've got a very detailed sheet here. So how much, you said 30,000 for the town clerk software?
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, but
So we've only added 2220, so did you take something
I
else?
did,
out?
I didn't go with his whole 9980.
What did you take out?
I don't remember.
And
We got a whole like detailed list here.
Yeah, let me print,
You're going.
Yeah. Helpful, Shelby?
willy-nilly
Let
here.
me print
out your breakdown.
And I've got like a list of things in my head that should be on here, but I don't know if
there. Yeah, I mean, like, okay. so-
And where's the website?
The website.
For next year, it'll be in the maintenance line.
Oh, okay.
I have
Yeah,
a,
so it's right now
let me find it.
16.400. But yeah, because we've got like, I can't remember what some of these acronyms are, but we've got DR backup. We've got IT management software, we've got Easton Computers Labor, we've got Threat Locker, which was new this year, Duo, SonicWall, Antivirus, GIS, cybersecurity training, Proofpoint, email accounts, email backups, SSL for impact, vulnerability scans, Trail 22 backup website. So you gotta be very careful when you come here, Jerry.
It's at $8,000. Just proposal. I have to go over my notes and see where.
Not happening. From security, we don't need security. You do recall it after second time, right?
Right.
Security.
So you want to add it, make it 130,000?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so should we have a definition already?
Yes, we want Kevin in.
Okay. All right, so that'll be.
yes. More come out.
All right, so we'll seek some information from Kevin on that. Page 10?
Okay, yeah, well, when do we do website? Oh, I see it. Okay. Thought it was more than that.
With the 9666.
No, I see website towards the bottom, third from the bottom of the maintenance budget.
Oh, Shelby's giving you the. That is, we're doing implementation this year, so that's when it affects the website line. The maintenance of it should be 10,000.
Oh,
Because we
okay.
have to have the initial setup of it
Done, okay.
done in 2023.
That's actually
With the
good.
rollout in 2024.
Yeah, oh, great. And that's a little less than I thought I had heard on the maintenance, on the annual fee.
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
were able to negotiate, yeah.
Yeah.
Christina got it worked out. So,
Mm,
excellent.
excellent.
Great.
Okay, town board, other items.
Insurance. Let's just do it.
Again, the contingent is the contractual monies and then another.
Right, an estimate for the contract negotiations. Oh, gotcha. And that was last year, the same thing.
Yes.
We had done 1 year.
Mhm.
Okay, MTA tax. It's effective for us. Police, again, the same thing. Personal services, because we're showing a little bit of an increase, that's because of the two salaries that are not part of the bargaining unit, but the rest of the bargaining unit is in contingency.
Yeah, it's not just their two south, yeah.
We've also got this,
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
police officers
Right,
moving up steps.
yep. All of that's in contingency. Well, no, the steps are guaranteed. Steps are part of the personal
Well,
service.
and that line is not just the clerks,
Right,
it's
it's
also
personal, it's steps.
TCOs
Yes.
and the crossing guard and, yeah, bay constables, so that's why.
Right.
Okay,
So the holiday pay and accrued sick time that comes in at the end of the year, so that's why it's 0.
yeah. Equipment is the same. New car. The chief asked for 52,000 because new cars are more expensive. We've been budgeting 45,000. I split the difference, I went 48.5. Firearms.
But he probably buys off a contract. He might know what that number is, the car number.
Come and tell us. Firearms and ammunition, budgeted repairs 3,280, he asked for 4,000, again, I split the difference. maintenance on the phone and radio, he felt we can go down a little bit on that. We're keeping the same, oil the same. Gas and oil, we're keeping the same. Telephone, we're going up on. Well, we're going up because of actual usage. He can explain why. Again, he asked for 22,000. Looking at the projections, I'm going to project 20,000. He can talk to that. Car gas and oil will keep the same. Uniform allowance will keep the same. Uniform cleaning will keep the same. Air training is the same. And contracts, miscellaneous radio and Southold, going up contractually. It's a significant increase. That's a total increase of about 7%, without the contract.
Contracts.
Now, again, some of these things.
I have a breakdown sheet.
You do.
Some of
Yeah, is
these
something wrong with the printer? It's out of paper? Oh, okay.
No, it's a need.
Hopefully.
Now, some of these things, when we get to the nitty-gritty part, I think we can use ARPA money for some of these things. We have the COVID money, $260,000. I think we can use some of it for the radio contracts, some of the equipment, tasers, radio, a few things. But we'll go over that when we get to it. Next is jail. Jail pretty much staying exactly where it is.
Thank you.
Got his contact number. You didn't get any tea, it's not that it's in. You should have it. The contact number.
Animal control. I don't have my notes on this. There's a change, where his pay is coming from. And I don't have my notes on this.
So he puts training in contracts, all right.
Meetings that I've said.
So you have anything on?
Yeah. He's gonna be going 36 weeks pay constable and 16 weeks animal control. That's what,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
16 weeks animal control
Mm-hmm.
out of the year and 36 weeks pay constable.
What the chief is trying to do is get a Owen, Butch, equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of want, because what was in the bargaining unit for the highway. I mean,
Butch.
Butch is, and he's named in the highway, so it's kind of tricky. So
Right.
he's trying.
Which is,
Butch, yeah.
yeah, 30 weeks highway, 22 weeks pay constable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right, it looks like it's, why is he going down so much, but it's really, he's looking,
In reality, though, the 16 weeks for animal control, when he's talking about deer management,
Mhm.
we're talking October, November, December, January,
Yeah.
February, and March. You're talking actually 6 full months, which would be 26 weeks that he's involved in that. There's a 10-week differential there.
Right, so we have to question that.
I just want people aware of the fact that his presence, particularly during February and March, are huge, that in deer management.
But he won't be there for that full time, he's only gonna be there for 4 months. Now, going to this,
Yeah, not even 4 months.
Yeah.
It's.
so I have to define what his job's gonna be for those 16 weeks.
Yeah, animal control, I.
Right, so let's keep that. What was do you have a percentage on Jenny's salary?
Three.
He was Jenny's.
Well, yours is 3. I don't know what his
Yeah,
is.
he was asking for from 26,000 to 30,000. I proposed 3% increase. You can ask him on that. Again, the clerk, trying to make that part of their salary, so that's why that's there, post longevity. It's based on his new hours for this position.
Yeah, that next line on equipment,
Yep,
now that we're teaching bow and arrow type of stuff, is that covered someplace else in recreation or something, or because, I know,
I think that's in.
Yes.
That's in.
it's a recreation,
Yeah.
okay. And on the education, I guess we, at 500, yeah, that's increased since we need to do a better job in terms of putting more resources into education.
Oh, they haven't spent any yet. so-
Yes. And I don't know how that's possible, but we do get a lot of materials, because I went over to pick up boxes of materials for the expo. We do get a lot of support from county and stuff that, from the hospitals.
yeah, we don't have to pay for it, though. That's-
No, we
Right,
don't.
that's-
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, pick that up for.
Mhm.
Even one of those tick kits they go about $10 each. And we picked up like 30 or 40 of them, 50 of them.
Deer reduction management.
We're not doing the flyover this year.
Yeah.
But we're taking that money, can you speak to the habitat management, risk reduction?
Yeah, so that $60,000 is coming down to proposed, Jerry, you're proposing
Well, I mean, I propose to keep it, but
redistributing.
redistribute it, yeah.
Yeah, so I, again, I don't know what it would cost, but we talked about that at last year in TIC meeting, and about, maintaining for the hunters to be able to access the trails and to get in and get out, get their vehicles in and out. The properties that we own, that we hunt on, need to be maintained in a better manner in order to be able to hunt in those properties and retrieve deer. And so we're not dragging them a half mile, out to a truck. A lot of times guys or women are by themselves. You need to bring the vehicle in. We also, in terms of tick management, think that's part of it, is maintaining the trails in order to broaden the trails, widen the trails in order to make them more usable, friendly, and less tick friendly, as they've done in Mishomick. This guy Dan has done a phenomenal job putting wood chips down, widening these trails, so you could safely go over there even in shorts and walk the trails.
BJ, when we dropped the four-poster program, we committed that, because we're not paying for that, doesn't mean we're just gonna take the money away from.
No, I
Deer
agree with that,
management program.
that kind of budget
So-
process.
But the
But,
committee recommended 56,000 as opposed to 60,000. I kept it at 60, so
Right.
we could come down 4,000.
where is that habitat risk? I mean, if it's CPF lands, there's money from CPF to maintain the properties in a safe manner. $20,000 worth of trail management on what? That if it's got to be town-owned property, and it can't, we can't be doing trail management.
They don't list it here under deer management, but my mind is working from the last report that I gave on deer and tech.
Yeah,
Talking about NUCO training, increased NUCO training, paying for the NUCO training so we can encourage more people, because you gotta lay out, X number of hundreds of dollars in order to get trained to become a NUCO.
what's a NUCO?
The nuisance wildlife control operator, so that we were only down we used them heavily during February, March, where we get quite a bit of our deer, and we're targeting does during there to keep the fawn population.
So that would come out of there, that's great.
So that does come out of there. I've also talked about adding incentives, additional incentives to get more hunters out there, to make it worth their while, because you do end up with hunting fatigue, especially when you start early. I had a couple hunters come up to me already and talk about they're eager to get out in October, down in Silver Beach, and would the property be ready, some of the properties they normally hunt there, because we have had an increase of deer population down in that area in the past year, because they didn't hunt much there last year. It's very simple with deer management to take numbers of the 14 or 15,000 and where we got it down to, maybe around 8,000, 9,000, for that number to go right back because of the lack of foreposts, the lack of hunters. And we could exceed that. If we don't get recreational hunters and very much involved, and these NUCOs.
Right. I wish there was a breakdown on this, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I also, the flyover is gonna have to, you're gonna have to do it at some point. Otherwise, how do you measure the success of your program?
And by the way, that's one of the other things. I don't know whether I'll be on the committee or not after my finished here.
Yeah,
But we will return to a flyover. I don't know, 2025 or 2026. But, these things, deer management is important. I mean, this tick-borne illness is not going away.
So I mean, if you want, so I propose $60,000.
Yeah.
For management, the committee proposed 56,000.
Right.
If you want, we can ask Dr. Hockwood to come in and break down how they see spending that money. And do we want to propose 56 or 60?
no, I don't need to see the breakdown. I think 60 is probably the reasonable thing to do, especially since we'll probably go back to flyover in the following year or two.
I would do the 56.
I would lean towards it.
All right.
Dr.
That's what they're
Bevelak said
asking for, then.
56.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
they have a plan.
I would go with 56.
In
Yeah.
lieu of a flyover, couldn't something be done with drones? Because it's awfully expensive to do.
I don't know if the technology is.
It
I don't
is,
know.
but to be honest with you, it all has to be done within a 6-hour period. So you go from midnight to 6 a.m. It's a bigger island than you think when you fly the grids.
Yeah.
It is very, very, you saw it on the radar, and just how sophisticated that is, how low they are to the ground. Not that the drone can't, do some of that, but, I don't know. Maybe there'll be new technology in the future where we'll be better able to determine this. And by the way, there's other data, that we're looking at, that
I'm sure we could come up with something that gives you just sort of a comparison. It won't give you equal numbers, but if you know where the hot spots are in all the past years, you could just do that hot spot and then compare the numbers year to year. I mean, if there's a place that's consistently high all the time,
Yeah.
like, for example, Westmoreland Farm.
Yeah, right.
Like, if there's always a high concentration
Yeah.
of deer in that area, you could take historical numbers and then maybe do a drone one night and see, but then it would have to be, I don't know.
And the enemy here is probably not deer, it's ticks. So it's tick-borne illness that we're really fighting. It's not that we're in the market to, kill so many deer per year.
You have to work closer.
But as these tick numbers increase, and we've seen these now since we stopped using the four-poster after 2 years, the number of Lone Star ticks are going up dramatically. And as the winters get less severe with less natural ways of killing ticks, keeping money in here too. There might be new ways of attacking the tick issue. Because ticks are just, tick management is more important than really even deer management. They go hand in hand. But So I think the 56.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's,
Okay.
I think 2 islands in Maine where they've done away with deer and there are no ticks.
Right.
I mean, I know ticks fly, like other mammals, but the primary vector is the white-tailed deer.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, emergency management, we're gonna keep. Town social worker, we went up 3%. And that we'll keep open to see if, decide there's more of a need for
Yeah, well, we said we would use the grant.
When you say social worker liaison, are you talking about the training that the supervisor, the mentoring she would
Yes.
like to avail herself of? Okay.
The only thing I'd like to do with this at some point, and I'm just double checking the budget numbers with the county on the grant that we got for the opioid, is I'd like to bump her up for her portion of the opioid grant and then put it into grant revenues.
Okay.
So it'll reflect properly.
All right.
Because if you see the through 831 numbers, she's already up to 16,000, but that's because she's been putting in the extra time
Right,
on that grant. So we at some point have to do a budget transfer to reflect that grant, but I just.
I also think
that.
so how would you do that?
So we would put in a budget transfer where we increase.
In the budget, how would you do it?
Yeah, we'd put in, we'd up the grant revenues and we'd put up the expenditure line for the town social worker.
Do that for next year.
I'll give you numbers for 2024.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm all in favor of that,
Yeah.
because after that report from
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we'd be crazy not to.
I also think that for the social worker liaison, if that's going to be like a supervisor or someone that she goes to, I think that's going to be more expensive than $500. I mean, that's like a professional service fee, so that's going to be more expensive, I would think. So, yeah.
Ask her if any of it is,
Well, I was gonna say, historically, that went to a senior center supervisor person who just helped filling out time cards and stuff. It was just very basic.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll ask her about that.
yeah. Ask her whether or not any of the supervisors or grant is opioid related, because that could be part of the grant. I mean, the grant's 100,000, we probably got it all spent, but when I've been crunching the numbers in more detail with the per county requests, I a little bit of rough.
Okay.
Okay, the next big one is EMS.
You print out, I have.
Again, director's 3%. Yeah, Jack asked for longevity. We have this discussion each year that the town's position is part-time, that is not entitled to longevity. Equipment is the same. The ALS coverage per diem is going up considerably from 241 to 431,250. Also increasing the ferry coverage, where we're putting in the ferry coverage, that wasn't included. We'll ask Jack to come in and give us a report on exactly how it's been going and why he feels the need for 24/7 coverage.
For the ferry trip coverage, can we just go with the department proposed 6,000 instead of the 8,500?
Me up this.
Why did we up it, Joe?
That's because if we have a second person, then we need, Gotcha, they're a second person coming across.
That's not in Jack's number.
That's what I want to double check. Oh, actually, this is what Shelby just gave us. We had, when we
In
did,
2023, that
Yes.
number has the ferry.
the 241 was 6,000, carried 235,000.
Oh, I see it.
ASL.
Yep. Thank you. Almost should be 12. Be double.
I don't think we've been spending quite.
I think he said he worked out a deal with the ferry and was in the process of talking to Cliff about some sort of
Yeah.
deal or discount for the ferriage.
Yeah. And I think when I was looking at the details that you printed out from Shelby, I think the driver licenses are here.
First, yeah.
Rather than us discuss this, we'll do it with Jack.
Mhm.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Significant.
One of the things I would ask Jack, by the way, is with Bill Powers retiring as a couple years ago, is there anybody on the force that's moving towards duplicating what he had? How close are they, could we envision that of getting somebody who lives here on the island, who's a volunteer, and pay for that coursework? Because obviously it would save us money over a long period of time, especially if it's a younger person. You get somebody in their 30s or 40s that's going to be around for 20, 30 years on the force. If you could get them back credentialed like Phil was, maybe it cost you initially $100,000 to get him or her certified. Is that a possibility in terms of rather than repeating this course over and over?
I think, Jim, the problem, we are getting, right now TJ Dalton is a member, and he's being, going through the courses, but he has to get a job when he's done. So he'll come back here and volunteer, but he needs a full-time job somewhere. So he'll get a job, just like the brewer, Sean and his wife, they're both the EMTs. So when they come back, they'll hire. I think his wife actually is part of the process, where she can be. But, so we do have, I know my friend, is a EMT in the city, and he, when he's here, he's a volunteer. But to get someone full-time, it'd be the same thing. It's like hiring somebody from Stony Brook.
Yeah, well, I'm looking, of course, at $431,250, kind of coverage, You take half of that
So that's
salary.
24/7. That's not one shift. That's.
No, I get that. I get that 24/7. But you have two people that live on the island, and
But
you cut that.
that's not 22 people's not 24/7. That's two 40-hour shifts. That's not the whole week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're not being called up. Well, if they're here and available with those credentials. My point is that you could, having people that live here with those kind of credentials on the island, you could cut that cost in half and pay each person $115,000 a year with those kind of credentials 24/7. It's just other ways
Yeah,
of looking at over long periods of time. We're talking decades.
yeah.
We
I
were
think-
spoiled having a
yeah.
guy like Phil.
And Ben
They're all-
Jones.
Yeah, and Ben Jones and those kind of people. If we can, it just seems very, this number's only gonna go up.
It's only gonna go up. It's,
Correct.
you know,
It's gonna be $500,000.
Guess what? It's gonna be the fire department too. You know.
But I think to Jim's point here, if you've got these, first of all, we need a stable, like a bunch of people. The number can be figured out, I'm sure. 5, let's just say, but to have the higher level training that we're talking about. And if you pay them the stipend idea, that they say, okay, I will be here, Wednesday through Thursdays, the midnight to 8. For the stipend, whatever the stipend number is, that makes it attractive for somebody who has a full-time job, who maybe works off the island, maybe not, I don't know, but can guarantee a coverage here. It might be cheaper than this, but you need a group. It can't be just one or two
You
people.
also need guaranteed coverage. And
That's what I just said.
Well, yeah, but to do that with individuals, and they say, I don't feel like working today, I'm not coming in. Whereas with Stony Brook, they're guaranteeing they're gonna get you
I
something.
don't understand that at all, really. We've done this for decades without guaranteed
No, We've
coverage.
done it with volunteers.
Right.
And now we've done it with volunteers and with certified people that lived on the island. Now we don't have the certified people. Rather than get into this,
Yeah.
let's wait for Jack.
Right, but that's the argument I'm making. I'm sort of trying to go along with what Jim is saying here. It's just if we could just build up a group of volunteers, the new thing would be you pay them to say that they'll accept coverage for whatever you're asking them to cover or whatever you can work out with them.
So many tax benefits in their own home, you know, I mean, you could make it very lucrative and very advantageous for somebody who want to see this.
Right.
You pay $120,000 and they can't afford to live here. What do you know? Let's say that.
All right, Jack.
Okay. Okay, medical center, pretty much staying the same. When we get to revenues, we have to look at the, I didn't figure out the percentage increase for the rent, yeah.
Is the rent the same on both sides there, or one side's bigger? Just to know.
What, the rooms?
Yeah.
I think the,
Costs $1 a year.
Oh,
you mean the
No,
rent?
it's much, it's,
No, it's except that the size difference.
yeah, size.
it's 2-to-1 maybe,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, at least, yeah. Yeah, I think it's 70%, 30%, you know, kind of thing. Yeah.
So why retire?
Okay, again, highway personal services. Majority of that is not contractual, right? Michelle?
Is that based on Brian's, Brian, would that change with the new person?
The superintendent,
Yes.
highway superintendent, not, yeah, that's, well, that's the 3% of.
Yeah, but what about longevity there?
Longevity for the clerks, not,
Oh, it's not for super, oh, of course, yeah. Yeah,
no, he's an elected official.
elected, he doesn't get it, yeah.
Okay, equipment's the same. Training, he's significant increase because he needs to train he needs CDL drivers to, get some more people able to drive the big rigs. So that's the big increase there. What other items? Seems the same. Okay, then we get the waterways management, and again, this is where I made the change to make the salaries of the town clerk and the deputy clerk whole. So, suppose if you take that money from waterways management and put it into the clerk salaries, again, that's a discussion we can have, whether it's, it's a feasible thing to do, a realistic thing to do or not.
I think some of that discussion will have to take place in executive session.
Yeah. Okay, next is nutrition. Nutrition. Start with program supervisor. Again, just a quick history on this. Originally, Karen Bennett was the head of the nutrition program. When Karen resigned, we hired Sarah Mundy to run it. When Sarah left, we hired Kelly to run the senior program, and we asked her to incorporate the nutrition program into it. It really was a big ask on our part, and really wasn't fair to Kelly or the program because it was just too much. So Kelly proposed that we hire a program supervisor. And what we had done was we hired a part-time clerk. There was a tremendous amount of paperwork involved with the nutrition program because it's county funded. So there's assessments and paperwork and a lot of, a lot of things involved with that. So we had a part-time clerk do that. So Kelly was proposing with the part-time clerk and the program supervisor. And going from what we've been experiencing with hires, I felt to get a qualified site manager in there, we'd have to offer more money. So I thought we'd eliminate.
And full-time.
Full-time, yes. Eliminate the part-time clerk and go for the full-time site manager. So that's why I'm proposing that. The head cook is a 3% increase. Dishwasher's 3% increase. Part-time cook is a 3% increase. I'm taking out the part-time clerk and part-time cook, assistant 5,000. I thought we had that. Oh, yeah, we did have. Didn't we have that last year? That was Angela Corbett.
I think she just getting booked.
Okay, Okay. So that's the increase there is, taking out the part-time clerk, but going back to the full-time site manager.
And I wonder if a full-time site manager wouldn't be able to be a little bit of a pitch in terms of part-time cooks.
They do.
Assistant.
They're there, they help.
So take that 5,000 out, is what I'm saying.
Well, no, she's a fall, and that's Angela Corbett, she's a fallback.
Yeah.
If somebody gets sick or something, we need somebody. That's.
I mean, site manager, general, like Karen always pitched in.
Right, that's what
Shelby
I
always-
mean, yeah.
Sarah always
Yeah.
pitched in, just other Monday. Always pitched in.
Yeah.
But the way the program needs to be run is that somebody needs to be like checking people in and like being more on deck in the front and not in the kitchen.
Not in the kitchen.
And that's just the days that the congregate meals, and there's a tremendous amount of paperwork and
Right.
going out,
Meals on
the
Wheels.
Wheels on Wheels and everything else. Yeah. Fuel and appliances, the same. Maintenance is going up a little,
It's the water testing.
right. Kelly proposed 9,000, I'm going up to 8,000 based on projections. Supplies, rent, Kelly proposed 29,000. Again, on projections, I'm going with what we budgeted last year. Have to look at the lease, I don't think it's that much.
Thing is, you've already expended 20,500 through the first 8 months. That's only leaving, $4,000 for the next 4 months.
What's the percent?
I wrote that the rent for next year is gonna be 24,000.
Rent is
Oh.
24?
Geez, that leaves no office and miss or supplies.
That's why I think she went with the 29, is what she went with.
Should we have her compare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna question that and ask Kelly to come in. Residential repair. And 3% increases.
First two lines, when you take a look at what was modified, what was proposed.
Yeah.
If you combine those numbers, you're talking about $13,000, of which we've spent first 8 months, less than 4,000.
In the salaries?
And salaries, but you've expended 3,100 out of a proposed 8,500. You've 508 out of a proposed 4,600.
So you just have to keep in mind, if you're gonna lower this one, we have to lower the revenue side. Because this money all comes from the county,
Okay,
so,
no, okay,
yeah,
okay.
so it's not, it
But I.
makes no change,
The
really.
county's only given us back what we spend. They're not giving us what we propose, right?
We show,
Right, yeah,
no,
whatever
but
we
we.
expend, we get reimbursed.
Yes, so
Yeah.
what I'm saying, the actual expenditures are not living up to what we're projecting here so far this year. I mean, you can see it, 30.
But if we project 10,000 and we anticipate 10,000 in revenue, it's a wash in the tax,
Unless what you're trying to say is we're not utilizing the program to its full capacity and that we should try and market it more.
That's a possibility. We could market it a little bit more.
Yeah, people don't know about it.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm not that
We're leaving
familiar.
money on the table.
Because you're only going to spend,
Thing.
you're going to spend 35% of what, you have allocated. If we're going to be reimbursed for it, let's advertise more and give people.
I'm kind of surprised at this salary because they're pretty busy, those guys.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I think maybe sometimes
They
they,
don't put in.
yeah, they just do it. Even though they should put in for it.
They should. They should, and we should encourage people to take advantage of it if we're being reimbursed dollar for dollar, you know?
Well, I think part of rearranging the nutrition program is to be getting Kelly back down to the senior center. So that she'll have more time to focus on the broader picture of senior services, more programming,
Right.
tune better into people who need these, the shopping service, the home repair service.
And I know, just working with the health and wellness group, in conversations that we've had, people lived on the second floor, elderly people with disabilities, coming down flights of stairs where the banisters and things were not, the railings were broken. This would be a perfect situation of making it a lot safer for people to get up and down.
Okay, Silver Circle. Okay, we're gonna move the drivers and the fuel from Silver Circle to the senior center. We're gonna add the cook salary to meals and snacks. So we're not gonna we don't cook in the Silver Circle anymore. So we're taking that money and swapping it around a little bit. Let's see.
What are the hours?
So we're moving the drivers to the senior center. We're taking the cook out and moving that money. So I'm sorry, BJ?
What are the hours for the senior aid? You know? Just looking at that salary.
Which line?
A6776
Circle is,
dot 139.
Wednesdays, I don't know if it's 9 to 4, or I'm not really sure what the hours.
Is that where, the only place that person
No.
is? Oh, okay,
Senior down a little.
all right,
Yeah, the next page.
all right. Here we see it, okay, I gotcha. Wow.
Where'd you put the cook? Meals and snacks?
Yes.
Okay.
And why did the fuel go down to nothing, Joe?
We moved it to the senior services.
Okay.
For the same program.
Yeah.
And we added it in the next one, in the senior center, we added the drivers and the fuel to the senior center AAA driver. That's where we added those funds to. Okay, so you have salaries, 3% increase. AAA driver, then we took those other funds and put them there. Overtime, we modified the budget, we had nothing budgeted, but we modified it to 500. This year, the date is 617. Only asked for 1,000. Proposed 500. We had a little conversation there that had to be authorized overtime and wasn't, so we're sure that's done properly. Part-time assistant, driver, new bus, keeping the same. Equipment will keep it the same, maintenance. Yeah, did we move the telephone somewhere else? Michelle?
I think it's just part of the general, like buildings telephone line now.
Utilities.
It's not all separate
Right.
pieces.
No, it's in utilities, yeah. Okay, office and miscellaneous. We modified it to 30, from 2530 to 3365. We've spent a little less than half of that. And Kelly was asking for another 3365, and I'm proposing we go with what we originally budgeted, 2530.
think part of that modified is they got a donation that
Okay.
they wanted to use in that line.
Okay, next, the senior shopping assistance, this is new. This is a grant, so this is pretty much a wash. This is like, pretty much like the residential repair, it's the same concept. So this is all county-funded money. This is how it's allocated. Basically, it's allocated for someone to coordinate the program, like Judy and Barbara do for the residential repair, that'll be Marissa. And then she's gonna make a presentation to the town board about the program. And the money really is for the drivers to go. This is the home shopping where either they'll come to the senior center and Marissa will help them online ordering, or go to the house and help them online order, and we'll go pick up the groceries for them. So it's for the bulk of the money is for the drivers to get paid to go and pick up the food for them.
Is it limited to just groceries or can it be other things, like if they need them to go to Target?
No, it's shopping
Towels
assistance. It could
or
be
just
Walmart, it could be
anything, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's also, we get the truck comes here, that Stop and Shop truck.
Peapod?
Peapod, yeah.
For some reason, this grant is,
You have to,
yeah, you have to go at.
yeah,
Want to get them out.
yeah.
It also creates jobs.
They don't go with.
They don't.
They don't go with,
No, they don't go. Yeah.
Like, say,
We do that too, though. We do have, where they go on trips, shopping trips.
I've seen.
Yeah. Okay, next is recreation. On recreation, Bethany asked for a salary increase equivalent to Kelly's salary. She felt Kelly, is the department head and she should be compensated equally, which makes sense. But I proposed that I went with the 3% increase. That's something to be discussed.
Her total salary for the year?
No, she'd also.
It's in
in
two
bid.
places.
Okay.
Oh, you sent it out. Let's see, so that's that. Then the rec age, we proposed 4%, I proposed 3%. Emily, she proposed a 10% increase, I proposed 3%. Bid aids, same. Equipment, they're the same. Everything else is the same, so it's the salaries, the two main salaries, the director and the assistant director. Discuss. We can bring them in, bring Bethany in. And if we go to youth center, same thing, Bethany asked for the increase comparable to Kelly's salary. 4% she asked for everyone else, I proposed 3%.
The Bethany to Kelly increase would be an additional $442.
I think for morale, we do that.
That's why I was just crunching it.
How can that be if she's proposing, my proposal is,
Maybe she thinks she deserves more because she's been there longer.
She has longevity kicking in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it over my,
So if-
not over my proposal.
Yes, oh, yeah, I'm looking at your proposal.
My proposal is 35,000, hers is 41,000. $5,000 difference.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at, if I compare your Kelly proposal to your Bethany proposal, that should just be $442 more.
So where did she come up with the 41,590?
Maybe she wanted more because she's been there longer.
No, that, I mean, I quoted increased Bethany's hourly salary equivalent to Kelly's, plus 4%, she said.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I have it written.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll have to explain her numbers.
Okay. Right, okay, oh, it said plus 4%.
Oh.
Right, okay.
Okay, sorry. She'll have to explain.
Okay. We'll bring them in.
I'd like,
The old numbers are pretty stable. Okay, next is one I'm gonna get beat up on. Historical Society contract. I've said this each year, say it again. I don't think it's the town's position that we should be donating $15,000 to the Historical Society. Don't leave it at that.
I'm gonna put it in there, just in terms of my notes. The only reason I'm saying this is, the comprehensive plan is asking, recommending, whatever. We reestablish the Historic Advisory Committee, or establish it for the first time. It's in code, but we don't have one. I don't remember having one. Historical Advisory Committee, and they would be working with the Historical Society, sort of hand in hand.
Well, that would be a voluntary board and it would be free labor for the Historical Society, so it's kind of
True.
donation.
True. No, that's the way to, yeah.
One of the things that I would propose here, because every time that in my 8 years, we've done this twice. Both times, the Historical Societies come in and presented their arguments about what they do for the town in terms of their records, and we've yielded to it after a little bit of pressure. But certainly, the direct benefit, I guess, goes to record keeping and things of that nature. And Amber, if you maybe would even sit down and do you feel that, what the services that they're providing are things that we cannot provide here, or we don't have proper storage of those kind of documents, things of that nature. The archives, if it's worth that fee per year, I think that's where kind of the conversation belongs.
I'd have to sit down with them.
Yeah, I just think, and I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, but I do remember when she comes in, and she has done this twice in my 8 years of being on the town board, the argument that she gave was enough sufficient. We call her in again, I'm gonna hear her for the third time, and we're probably gonna say, wow, didn't realize you did all those things for the town, but, so I just think that maybe before we bring her in, it'd be nice for the town clerks, for her to just judge for yourself, because there might be some dialogue in between you. Maybe it's something that for the future, other shared documents can be kept in more secure, safer place.
I was going to mention that, 'cause there's a lot of maps and things that need to be preserved.
Well, that's why I think that dialogue should be ongoing. There should be a relationship between the town clerk's office and the Historical Society ongoing about the proper location for key documents. You can't replace them. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Okay. The Housing Board. A little less than last year. Consulting is down. Based on.
And that's
What's
where
the
the
proposal?
saving is, almost $12,000, and that's, other things are up a little bit, but that's still down basically 8,000.
He's clerking the housing board.
Catherine?
I just wonder, well, we'll have to see, but I just wonder what next year brings,
Oh, I know.
in terms of the workload for her. That would be my only question there. I don't think any of us can tell.
And you put in money for consulting
Yeah,
that hasn't been expended yet, but
yeah,
at some point it will be, as we move forward with
yes.
Department of Health, depending on the precautions, just let me know what we can do there and we try and move forward.
Right.
Seeker review, things like that.
Yep.
Any-
Yep. So maybe we should get that back up, but,
So the consulting might be low.
yeah, maybe even,
We can encumber that money if we have to. We can encumber it.
I have questions for you.
Encumber and carry forward, you mean?
You have
Some contracts.
purchase orders in place.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be at that point yet.
How does this work? We can talk about this after, as far as like their own separate pot of money now,
Oh,
like how
Good point.
WQI works.
good point.
We, it has to be spent according to the housing plan that we have in place. So, I think it's
Just something to think about, I
Yeah,
guess.
no, I think support is included, but,
It is,
Yeah.
but, yeah, we have to take a look at
I'll look at that.
yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Shelley, because if we're doing a
Yeah.
big project, then
Mhm.
obviously that would be something. Is that the housing board?
Yeah,
Okay, landfill again. Same thing, contractual. Only showing anything that's non-binding with the unions.
That bottom line is 37 or so to 563. Yeah, it's significant.
For landfill?
Yeah.
That's because one employee got moved from, right, brush and weeds into the landfill. So now you'll notice on the brush and weeds side, it should
Okay,
not.
thank you, that's very helpful, thank you.
Okay, hazmat is up. Same thing. Move somebody. Yeah.
Yes. Same thing.
Right. Okay, overtime, Brian, based on usage, is going down $3,000.
It's pretty good, yeah, overtime has only been $4,100 in the first 8 months.
Yeah.
Did you bring that down slightly more or no?
You don't want to take a chance, because usually, a lot of times, have to wait and see if there's any storms in the fall. That's usually when the overtime at the landfill is.
Yeah.
Says concrete purchased is going up a little bit. Brian we budgeted 18,000, modified it to 19. Brian's proposing 22, 20, based on projections. That'll balance itself out with the revenues.
Brookhaven closed. Right,
Couple years, yeah.
is it?
It's coming up on us.
I feel like it's.
C and D were increasing from 115 to 130. %3 increase, again, not counting actual salaries.
My clothing allowance has only been $310 spent the first 8 months.
They usually wait till
Yeah,
the end of the year.
Yeah. Answers that.
Piping plover.
Bless you.
I don't need as a comeback or something, Brian said,
Yeah, well, there is a comeback in numbers, so to speak. There's more areas where they're going to, new breeding grounds.
putting it.
He said
Good.
DEC is going to be dredging next year.
All right, okay. So it's a little bit back, we had taken it out because putting that back in $1,000. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Ellis Island, we're keeping the same. Last year. Benefits. This is the biggies. Retirement is going. $30,000. Retirement is going up. Police retirement, $50,000. OSAP staying the same, Social Security.
I was just looking at the shed on Taylor's Island, by the way. You know, I thought the shed was, and we put in $2,000 last year, spent no money in the first 8 months. We have a balance of $2,000, going to budget $2,000 next year. They're a brand new shed that's only a year or two old. Is there a reason why we're putting money into the shed?
I don't know if it's the shed, I mean, we probably have it as the shed, but I think it's,
Well, you have requests for the cabin separately. You know, that's a separate line item.
and I'll ask,
To be very honest with you, we're never gonna move off that, whatever it is, we'll start here with what was it, 11.9, or, you know, we've got, to start finding some money, even if it's nickel dime and stuff, we've got to start.
It's helpful to go through and do one.
It is,
full
yes, it is.
See everything,
Yeah,
and
it
then
is.
sit down with
Yeah.
it. and
It is.
chop it up.
Yep.
We've only had this,
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it since it was handed to me.
Okay.
because I saved only less than 24 hours. So, like, I've been caught up in the weeds up until Friday, so looked at the overall.
So the only good news on the A benefits is paid family leave went down.
I was just gonna say that, that's the only one that went down.
Yeah. Everything else is significantly up.
Unemployment insurance is negative. And we're budgeting the same.
Negative means we got more.
No, we spent
Our
more.
expenditures.
We should ask Barbara.
Insurance exceeded the budget. We spent almost 6,200. We budgeted 5,000. Or 5,000, so we're minus, $3 already in the first 8 months. If that number had been 6,000, plus 7,000. Employment insurance.
The same for workers' comp.
It's one of the first
that's
line
even
items
worse.
I've seen where we're already in negative in the first 8 months. The only reason I like that. We need to check with Barbara, inquire about that.
Might have been, so. Yeah, we can check, but I think our insurance broker told us workers' comp was going down.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we
Yeah,
Might just leave it.
figured that for unemployment insurance also.
Disability insurance the same way, we, in the first 8 months, we've,
It's just one bill, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not.
Okay, capital projects.
The attached capital spreadsheet.
Do that separate.
Yes, let's see, do we have the attached capital?
Yeah, well, that's right.
I was gonna say somewhere.
Probably towards the end.
Let's hold off on that because
Yeah.
I ran into Kenny Lewis outside of the post office yesterday in between meetings. And there's something, maybe the sweeper. It's having some constant breakdowns. And so it was need to be replaced sooner. So, even though we did put it in.
The other thing we might want to look at is that trailer situation at Scale House too.
I'm trying to do that this.
That we should do
Yeah.
sooner.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It should happen now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just, I don't know how much, I saw you looked up a few, I was looking up a few online.
What were the ballpark figures out of curiosity?
Just for like an 8x20, it was like, you could buy a used one for 21,000,
Yeah.
which I would almost say rather than renting one, let's buy it.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
definitely buy it,
Yeah, I would say
either
five.
keep it or if we're gonna replace it someday, then we can sell it. And you should do the container version because it lasts longer. not the manufactured, because what we have there is wood and the rats are just eating it, so
Yeah.
you need.
A shipping container.
But you can get them for about 20 grand.
Yeah, I was just saying, you found one with a bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah, bath would be nice.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to have that.
They ha- It's 8 by 20 with a half bath.
So that would work.
Definitely
Although
a
we don't
bathroom
have
in that
plumbing
area.
down there currently,
Can't
so
be
it's
run
all
back up to that.
self-contained, or you're making a face.
We shouldn't talk about it. It's working now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in work session. Okay,
But Brian presumably is on it, but
So
we were just,
okay, we'll go to revenues.
goal to go through the whole thing today at least once?
Well, we're gonna finish eight, at least eight.
Okay.
What's the schedule for today? Is it just morning?
we just said 10, we didn't.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say,
Fridays at
let's,
lunch and then like 1 to,
Well,
let's finish the eighth one.
yeah, I was gonna
I gotta
say,
be in
chapter
Riverhead.
56 is 28, so you had to,
Yeah.
I get you through the A fund?
Oh, yeah, we're almost done. We're in revenues.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe we take, we did the first 28 pages and the next 28 tomorrow.
Okay. Tax receiver revenue. First one is, LIPA pilot payment. This is, I guess they finally decided how that's gonna happen, so, this year we got $51,276 that we didn't budget for, so we're gonna budget for $51,000 next year.
I talked to the contract accountant
Yeah.
yesterday on the phone about pilot payments.
Yeah,
She said to increase it by 2%
2%?
from what we received this year.
So it's 51,276.
52,302. That's right, because they can only go up the 2%.
53,202.
Yeah.
302.
52,302.
You did it times 52, so,
I took the 51,000.
52,276, that's what we got. 51,276.
Yeah.
I see it.
Multiplied the, yeah.
So what was the total?
52,302. Yeah, they, even if our budget goes above 2%, they get.
They can only pay 2% or whatever the tax rate is, like whatever the lesser amount is, that's what we pay.
Of course, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what's that used for, Joe? I mean,
This is a payment in lieu of taxes.
They're not on the tax roll, so
Like
they,
G, that, they don't pay taxes, but they have to pay.
in good faith, can pay it. Supposed to pay it.
So
Right.
we're already over on our tax penalties this year.
Yeah, so we budgeted 14,000. To date, we received 19,200, so we're gonna project 15,000 for next year.
We should probably ask Anne Marie, though, for her proposals on this.
Yeah.
She didn't put anything in, but
All right, I'm in revenues, gotcha.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking that's
Not working right.
Okay, you making a note of that, Joe? Okay, town board revenue, franchise cable, that's contractual, so. We don't get that all at once, Joe?
no, it's quarterly.
Okay. Interest and earnings is way up, so, we're projecting, well, we're 23,600 over to date. So I think being conservative, we're projecting $20,000 as opposed to $2,500. Interest and earning on the checking, we're again $70,000 over our projected to date, just to date, year to date, not total. So we're projecting 70,000 there as opposed to 25,000. Actually, 5,600.
that would project, 60,000 would project out to 105 based on 12 months.
No, 70,000 is what we're projecting for the whole year.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
saying,
oh,
I'm
they
saying
have,
if you
yeah,
take
yeah, yeah, yeah.
70,000 and multiply it by, but at 8
Yes,
months.
yes,
and
yeah.
Take half of that, that's
Yeah.
35.
Yeah,
That's 105.
yeah. So again, I think we're being conservative in the anticipated revenue there.
Yeah, I think the projection is interest rates may drop a little bit, and then also we get a big chunk of money in January, and so then it gets spent down, then we get a chunk of money in May, it gets spent down. So as the year goes on, we don't earn the same amount of interest by year end.
Right. Okay, then the next big one is the mortgage tax. The last 2 years, the mortgage tax was way up. The projections are for it to go down, I think 40%. So we want to go from anticipated revenue of 500,000 to down to 300,000.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, the last 2 years, it was like found money. That's it on town board revenue. Okay, then we go to town clerk.
The alarm system.
Alarm system, Penny, we're getting that back on board. During COVID, we had stopped, for whatever reason, collecting. So we're starting to project that again.
So is that, like false alarms?
Those are false alarm fees,
False alarms?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start.
And with the fire department, we split it 50/50. Police, we get all of it. Parking permits, gonna keep the same. Dock, we're gonna keep the same.
That parking permits, I wonder what it was like 2 or 3 years ago before the, you know?
I have it all written down.
Yeah, because that's it's a significant number. People should be aware of that, $95,000.
Commercial.
Condon Creek dockage was raised.
Yep.
A long, long time ago.
Long time ago?
No, during my tenure.
I'm thinking
It was a major,
During your tenure?
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I would say.
Okay, so it's not that long.
5 years ago,
All right, then
if
leave
I had
it.
to project, and it created a stir.
Yeah, it was.
Because we went from 250 to 5,
yeah,
I
it was a
believe, in my
area
memory,
supervisor.
but we also went with all of them. We went to the lagoon, and I remember the people that down there, we went from 125 to 250, and it was like that razor.
Yeah.
Right there, you walk onto your boat, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. But we went through a little bit of that, but, and the people we really heard from, obviously, at Condon Dock were the fishermen with,
Yeah.
even though I think we gave a better rate to, didn't we?
Yeah,
The commercial fishermen, I think there's a special rate there as opposed to what somebody with just a boat that's not
Yeah,
a,
so it's $350 compared to $500.
that's okay, thank you.
where are dock permit fees? Or here on this list?
Condon Creek
So-
dockage.
No, when you
someone
apply
applies
for, yeah.
That would be in the B fund for, I'm pretty sure, oh wait, docks is A fund because that's town board. Well, there's dredging and dock permits, is that?
Where's
Yes,
that?
because it's the same.
Where do you see that?
Dredging
Oh,
and
there it
dock.
is.
Halfway down.
845.9.
Yeah.
So we need to increase.
That's what I'm saying, the dock permits.
$50, you get a
Yeah.
commercial mooring for $250.
Yeah, I think we need to increase that.
Just say.
And, well, we were also talking about a penalty if you do dock modifications without a permit. So, not that we need to include it here, but maybe we can effectuate it so that it does impact next year. We just can't predict it. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think on the mooring fees, Amber, I think we were wrong in what we adopted and modified. I don't think we took into account that we weren't doing 3 years.
I thought we did.
I'll have to put my notes from last year, because
Because
It was a detailed analysis.
the 85,000 that we're projecting this year is for
The 3-year.
2 years. It's for the ones that are up in 2024 and the ones that are paying the second payment 2023.
One.
It's a yearly thing.
In March, it goes to a year. So that-
Yeah.
So right now, everyone's just getting prorated until March 31st, and continuing March 31st, everyone's on the same yearly
Right.
renewal.
Right.
Which does bring it down.
Yeah.
Okay, EMS revenues, that's donations, so we don't really project anything there.
I thought I started when I looked through that the other day. I get $1,000 donation for
Well,
getting.
we never know. Well, no, they get it, they have their own foundation.
Oh, okay.
So they
Okay,
get it.
'cause I thought we,
No, they get
they bought an
significant
ambulance.
funds. Yeah, no, they get it, yeah.
That many,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
after you're around here for centuries.
Yeah, they have their own
$1,000 a
foundation,
year to
yeah.
Buy an ambulance.
Okay, Justice Court, last year we projected 25,000. This year we're gonna project 21,000.
You're on course to go to 27, but, I mean, maybe it's because of the summer, maybe it's a little higher.
Yeah.
You know, there.
Landfill revenues, a little on C and D. Gonna stay the same on town bags. Go up a little on tire disposal. Go down a little on concrete in. Go up a little on stumps in. Go down on sales of light iron.
What's going on?
Metal.
Yeah.
What's going on with commercial leaf debris?
That's the fall is only five.
Thank you.
Never quite understood, by the way, just that when we're looking at the recycling area, the scrap iron and things like that. People come in and donate that, and it's a part of town revenue, and then we allow people to walk in and take it.
I know complaints about that from people.
Well, not,
We allow
plus you're subjecting people to a dangerous situation when they get into those piles with metals and things. That
Sign a
accident,
waiver now. They're supposed to, right?
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But I don't, honestly,
It's,
that's not
I
monitored.
think you're also
supposed to wear like a reflective vest or something. That wasn't what.
To really be honest with you, because people take out a fair amount. Other than that, that's all revenue. No, people got rid of it. It's that's a town asset. Why we allow it? I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, I think it's something I would like.
They're taking it out of scrap metal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've talked to Kenny about it, he wants to address
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we do, maybe we allow them to do it and make a small spread on it, but we charge, you know what I'm saying? Like you weigh going in, whatever you collect, you weigh going out, and, there's a little revenue, and they left for them to make a little profit. I don't know, might be a fair
I
way.
think what he's probably talking about is the
Eliminating.
eliminate, because you pull out, it's
Yeah.
just how you store it, the safety, the revenue, the whole thing.
The safety.
Once it's put in there, it's pushed
it.
into the.
Safety's a huge liability.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it should be hands off.
yeah.
get stabbed with a metal rusty something, you end up with the tetanus and it's just not.
Plus the fact that the people that back their vehicles over there, the flat tire ready to happen. I'll tell you, that's the most dangerous place to be in the, at the recycling center, when you back your vehicle in. I walk. And
And he knows.
I don't. When I dump something, I carry it.
Okay, medical center, I guess I did put in the increase in rent. Okay. Nutrition revenue. I have to see where that's down. That projection is down.
This is for congregate meetings.
Yeah.
Is this attendance been low?
I don't know, I thought we were trying to build that up. I'm not sure I can ask Kelly.
That revenue at the medical center, discussed that privately.
Yep. Senior center revenue. County reimbursement. So those are revenues are up. Shopping assistance is new, that's all revenue. Police revenue, significant increase in the police revenue sharing. County sales tax revenue. Everything else is,
What is that? Could you, just for police revenue sharing, what
That's the county, that's the sales tax that we get from the county, that's,
On the county sales.
yeah. Recreation, so Shell, on the cover page, we had the Waterman program. Why do we have it?
We never spent it.
We didn't, why? Because
Don't,
the Waterman program was a donation we got last year,
Here,
specific to the recreation department. So we're not really showing it as any revenue this year, right?
we're showing it like the green options grant,
Oh,
like a rollover.
okay.
So it's in as an expense in Bethany's budget, but we're pulling it out on the cover sheet. If we put it in as a revenue, it'd be like double, yeah.
Really need
Looking
to
for double earning.
Yeah, here we go, that's the word.
what the plan, because that was donated in good faith. We have to find out what the plan is for that.
what's this?
The water, remember the paddle board around the island? They donated 25,000
Correct,
recreation. They're
Right.
supposed to be water related.
right.
We should-
Education.
Plan is.
Okay, yeah, we need to get all of them. My one question on that police revenue sharing, in the first 8 months, we've received $223,811. We're projecting the same for next year. Why wouldn't we not project more? Because don't we get continued revenue for the next 4 months?
No, it comes in as one check, one amount yearly.
Okay.
Yeah, once a year.
Thank you. That-
Where were you, Jim?
No, that was in the top line. I was saying, so we got that money in the first 8 months. Why can't we take one half of that and project it out, because we have 4 more months to go, but
No, it's just
it
one.
was just explained to me, it's one check for the year. So, thank you. That explains that, because that would
Yeah,
have,
the 228
Like a county
was the
budget.
check. I think the other was money we had gotten previously for something else.
Which one? Sorry.
Well, we got, I remember we got a check for
I
223,811.
think that just surprised everyone because we
Yeah.
thought we were gonna get the 163.
Right,
all good stuff.
yeah. Okay, so if we go down to recreation revenue, okay, so we're gonna just find out about the Waterman program. Fees, adult fees are the same, projected the same. Fit Center, as we mentioned, that they're going up. You have an increase from what we budgeted, almost $23,000 increase. So we're gonna project going from 41,000 to 55,000.
On that one, can we check what it was pre-pandemic? Because, Emily said that we're like almost back up numbers wise to that.
Okay.
Because we're taking in 64,000 so far this year, and obviously probably more memberships are renewed in the early part of the year, in the summer, but.
Well, we'd also need to know how much, have we raised the fee? Yeah, since the
Yeah, we
pandemic.
did.
Yeah, so that 55,000 could be 65,000 or something.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's, I'm surprised. Yeah.
Okay, that's it on the A fund.
All right. We got through the first 29 of 56, just roughly about halfway through. I think the second, a little quicker for Sarah.
Well, the B fund's pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay. And then we go back to the other pages. a
Well,
second.
we'll B, then we'll do the D, A, D, B, then we'll bring in where we want to. We'll try to get all our questions and we make notes on.
So Gary,
So it'll be,
What's this the next? Tomorrow?
tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
so it'll be both in and Kenny, mommy.
Yeah, and Shelby needs to reach out to Kenny too. Yep. Good. And then I also told Kenny yesterday when I saw him.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes today. Anybody opposed to wanting to go from like 9 to 12 tomorrow? And
I'd come in at 9.
Options as
have great options, okay, sorry.
But tomorrow, the big fund, the DA and the DB tend to go faster.
I think we can get all those done at the same
Yeah,
time.
so we're gonna do 10 to 12 and get that done. Oh, and a quick special meeting.
And a quick special meeting, naturally. We haven't had one in a while.
Feeling lonely?
I'm feeling like that 25K from the paddleball run shelter, where was it designated to go to?
They wanted for
Recreation,
youth,
Bethany.
recreation or education, something to do with the water.
Bethany had said she was looking to work with maybe Kate on part of that with, kind of getting the kids involved with the oyster reef and nature conservancy or something. There was something she was looking to coordinate. But I'm not.
So you want me to sit down with Bethany and get that answer?
Yeah.
And I probably would have to leave at noon tomorrow. Pick up Andy. Then we have the Lions Club. I'll need a nap.
So if anyone wants to come in tomorrow, or you want to wait until after?
Well, let's wait, let's finish tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
So then we'll start people the next.
Right.
Yes.
Do you have the calendar?
Next one, so that would be the
What we-
29th.
I have this.
Yeah, plus it gives us a little time to get our notes
Yes.
together. and-
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah, because I want to do like, you know.
I like certain actions just by myself a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
going through it.
Okay. Yeah, so then you can have them come in, Chuck, the 29th, the 2nd.
The 29th.
29th, yeah, that's the.
Sounds like a winner.
Yeah, and then there's second, third, and fourth, yes. Oh, goodness, it's fast.
Big motion to,
Adjourn until tomorrow. And then